Hey, this is Harold from Giant Loop, and we've got the new Buckin Roll Tank Bag here, and let's take a look at how we mount this up on a typical sort of dirt bike setup. So first step, we're going to remove the tank bag from the harness. This makes it easier to manage the straps. So we'll set the tank bag aside for a second. Now this front strap is the one that anchors it in position fore and aft. So I usually start with that one to lock in the position of the tank bag where I want it, which with the Buckin Roll tank bag on this is going to be right behind the fuel fill right here. So here's that front anchor strap, and I like to take it all the way down and around the frame, the head tube of the frame, and just below the steering stops. So I'm going to pass it around underneath the steering stops and then back up the other side. You want to make sure that you're not crimping, pinching, or otherwise like abrading or wearing on any cables or anything. So there we go. That's right up snug against my fuel fill, so it won't get in the way if I need to fuel up. But it'll be nice and forward and out of the way for technical riding, trail riding, snow biking. Right now, this KTM 500 EXC has a timber sled snow bike kit on it. So get that all cinched down nice and tight. Now, we've given you plenty of webbing to work with here because we want to make this fit as universal as possible. But when we're all done here, we've included these nice little elastic loops so we can just tuck all these loose webbing ends underneath the tank bag after it's zipped on and keep everything nice and tidy. You can also cut these off, just a sharp pair of scissors, and then kind of singeing it like with a lighter to keep it from fraying if you don't want to keep all that extra strap. But now let's do up our sides. So typically we're going to go to just the closest point on the frame or the subframe. So on this bike we kind of have a couple of options, and actually normally not the subframe, usually on the frame or like this little brace here on the frame spar. So I'm going to take the strap down and around. Do everything upside down here. There we are. Normally I just walk around, but since we're shooting video, I didn't want to take the extra time. So there we go. And I'm passing it underneath the little guide here with the reflective band on it. And then it also passes underneath the zipper, which is kind of clever, like so. And then into your thumb lock and back down the other side of the thumb lock. And I wouldn't tighten this just yet. I'd kind of leave it on here, you know, sort of loose as it is, so we can kind of adjust and get the two sides even. So do the same thing here on the opposite side. You know, and you can always experiment with different mounting points. You know, different bikes have slightly different layouts. Some have easier access to the frame than others. Your bike is not going to be exactly like this one, so you might have to improvise a little bit. And there we go. So that's looking pretty good. Now I would start snugging everything down. We want this to be nice and tight. And then just simply tuck these webbing ends under here. Keep everything nice and tidy. We don't like dangling straps that get caught on things or melt. You'll notice too that we also didn't put any buckles in your knees or crotch. You know, when you're riding aggressively, you're pinching the tank with your knees, you're pinching the front of the bike with your knees, you're sitting way up here on the front of the seat. We didn't want there to be anything that was going to be an obstacle to getting in that aggressive body position. So nice slim trim design here on the new Buckin Roll tank bag. Super excited about it. 100% waterproof RF welded construction. So there's kind of our little nest of straps there that we're going to tuck underneath. And you know, another great thing about this setup is, you know, you don't really have to, once you have everything set up, you don't really have to take the tank bag on and off very frequently, unless you're just cleaning it or moving it from bike to bike, or when you stop, like for a lunch break or that sort of thing. You can take it with you. There's a little carry strap, in fact, so that your valuables aren't sitting on the bike while you're not. So, see, tucking all my webbings in, and then there, you know, there is a little webbing loop here as the zipper comes to a close that if you stretch that webbing loop out and tuck that zipper pull in there, it holds the zipper pull in place, keeps it from opening up and allowing the zipper to work its way loose, and also just keeps the zipper tab from flopping around on you. So there you go, the Buckin Roll Tank Bag. Nice little phone pocket on the top that you access through this Velcro here. There's electronics pass-through, so you can run a cable. Like I've got the USB charger here. I can run a power cord inside of here to keep my phone charged, my camera battery, what have you, little key clip, and then also a couple little elastic bands at the bottom to, you know, like if you had some tools or something. It's never a good idea to have, especially sharp or metallic objects like bouncing around in there. That will abrade the fabrics over time. Another little tip too is, you know, if you're leaving this parked in the hot sun for any period of time, just unzip the tank bag and take it with you, because you know this vinyl will last many years, but eventually it will sun rot, this clear vinyl, if you leave it in the sun for you know, every day parked in the sun kind of thing. So anyway, that's a quick overview of the Buckin Roll Tank Bag. It's available in gray and in classic black, and we're shipping them now at giantloopmoto.com. Go light, go fast, go far. Thanks for riding with us.